You've been taught that selfishness is a sin, that good people sacrifice themselves for others, that nobility means putting everyone else first. What absolute garbage! Epictetus knew something you don't. Every moment you spend trying to fix other people's lives is a moment you're bleeding out your own power. And for what? So you can feel virtuous while you drown? Look at you right now. How many people's opinions are you carrying in your head? Your mother's disappointment, your boss's expectations, your partner's needs, society's judgments. You're walking around like a coat rack for other people's baggage. And you wonder why you feel so damn heavy. But I have responsibilities, you say. I can't just abandon people who need me. Oh, can't you? Tell me, when the airplane is going down, whose oxygen mask goes on first? Yours. Always yours. Not because you're selfish, but because an unconscious hero saves exactly nobody. Here's what Epictetus understood that you're too scared to admit. You are not responsible for anyone else's happiness. Not your children's, not your spouse's, not your parents'. Their feelings, their reactions, their disappointments, that's their business. The only business you have any control over is your own mind, your own choices, your own life. And you know what's really twisted? The moment you stop trying to manage everyone else's existence, the moment you finally choose yourself completely, that's when you actually become useful to anyone. Because a person who owns their life doesn't leak anxiety all over everyone else. They don't need constant validation. They don't manipulate through guilt or seek control through sacrifice. But no, you'd rather be a martyr. It's easier, isn't it? Playing the victim of everyone else's needs. At least then you have an excuse for why your life feels like a prison you built yourself. The truth is, you're addicted to other people's approval, like a junkie needs a fix. Every time someone validates your sacrifice, you get a little hit. Oh, you're such a good person, so selfless, so caring. And you eat it up, don't you? Meanwhile, your own life is rotting from the inside. Epictetus said it plain. No one can hurt you without your permission. Think about that. No one. Not your toxic family member, not your demanding boss, not your needy friend. They can scream, they can guilt trip, they can threaten, but the moment you decide their opinion doesn't control you, they become powerless, just noise. But you won't do it. You know why? Because then you'd have to face the terrifying truth. If you're not defined by what others need from you, who the hell are you? Most people would rather die than answer that question. Literally. They'll work themselves into heart attacks, drink themselves stupid, stay in soul-crushing relationships, anything to avoid the silence where that question lives. You think you're being noble, carrying everyone else's burdens. You're not. You're being a coward. It's so much easier to focus on fixing others than to look at the mess of your own life. I can't work on my dreams because my family needs me. I can't leave this relationship because they'd fall apart without me. I can't say no because what would people think? Excuses. All of it. Here's what actually happens when you choose yourself. People get furious. Oh, they'll dress it up nice at first. I'm just concerned about you. This isn't like you. Don't you care about anyone but yourself? But underneath, it's pure rage. How dare you stop being their emotional dumping ground? How dare you have boundaries? How dare you choose your peace over their chaos? And this is where most people crack. The guilt hits like a sledgehammer. Maybe I am being selfish. Maybe I should go back to the way things were. Maybe I'm a bad person. Stop right there. You know what's actually selfish? Expecting someone else to set themselves on fire to keep you warm. That's what they've been doing to you, and you've been letting them. Epictetus understood something brutal. It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. You think you know what love is? Sacrifice. You think you know what goodness is? Self-destruction. You think you know what relationships require? Losing yourself. You don't know anything. Real love doesn't demand sacrifice. It doesn't feed on your destruction. Real love wants you whole, not in pieces. But you can't give what you don't have. You can't love from an empty cup. You can't save anyone while you're drowning. The people who truly need you. Not their neediness, not their manipulation, but the actual humans underneath. They need you strong. They need you clear. They need you to model what it looks like to own your life completely. But you can't teach what you won't learn. So you stay stuck, bitter, resentful, wondering why doing everything right feels so wrong, why being good feels like dying, why helping everyone else leaves you so empty. You want to know what changes when you finally choose yourself? Everything and nothing. The sun still rises, bills still need paying, people still have problems. But you stop being a participant in the drama. You become the observer. Their emergency is no longer your emergency. Their poor planning doesn't constitute your crisis. Their feelings about your choices become irrelevant data. That's cold, you think. No, that's free. Watch what happens to your body when you start saying no. The knot in your stomach loosens. The weight on your chest lifts. The constant buzz of anxiety quiets. Your body has been screaming at you for years. Stop abandoning yourself. Stop betraying yourself. Stop choosing everyone else. But you wouldn't listen because you were too busy being good. Good according to who? Based on what? Some rules you absorbed as a kid when you had no choice? Some guilt program running in your head that you never questioned? Some fear that if you're not useful, you're not lovable? That last one really stings, doesn't it? The terror that if you stop serving everyone else's needs, they'll leave. And you know what? Some will. The vampires who've been feeding on your life force will absolutely find another host. The manipulators will move on to easier targets. The people who confused your servitude with love will show their true colors. Good. Let them go. Because here's what you don't realize yet. The people worth keeping won't leave. They'll adjust. They'll respect your boundaries. They might be uncomfortable at first. Change always is, but they'll adapt. And the ones who can't? They were never your people anyway. They were just parasites you called family, friends, lovers. Epictetus dropped this bomb. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. You know what you stop wanting when you choose yourself? Other people's approval, their permission, their validation, their comfort at your expense. But choosing yourself isn't just about what you stop. It's about what starts. You start waking up without dread. You start making decisions without committee approval. You start pursuing what actually interests you, not what you think you should want. You start having energy, real energy, not the fake caffeine and willpower kind. You start attracting people who like you, not what you do for them. Most importantly, you start being honest. Brutally, beautifully honest. No, I can't help you move this weekend. No, I won't lend you money again. No, I don't want to hear about your drama. No, this relationship isn't working for me. Each no is a yes to yourself. Each boundary is a declaration of self-worth. Each choice for your well-being is an act of rebellion against a world that profits from your self-abandonment. The world needs your submission. It needs you tired, guilty, and spread thin. It needs you too exhausted to question, too depleted to resist, too busy serving others to recognize your own power. Every system of control depends on you believing that choosing yourself is wrong. Every manipulator counts on your guilt. Every toxic relationship feeds on your fear of being alone. But what if being alone is the first step to being free? What if the thing you're most afraid of, disappointing others, being seen as selfish, losing relationships, is actually the doorway to everything you want? You can't find out while you're still performing for approval? You can't discover who you are while you're shapeshifting to meet everyone else's needs? You can't build a life you love while you're maintaining everyone else's. But what about compassion, you ask? What about kindness? What about love? Real compassion doesn't enable. Real kindness doesn't self-destruct. Real love doesn't require your sacrifice. The most compassionate thing you can do for someone drowning is refuse to drown with them. The kindest act is showing them it's possible to swim. The most loving choice is becoming someone worth being around, not a burned-out shell of obligation. You think you're helping by saying yes to everything. You're not. You're teaching people that their needs matter more than your well-being. You're modeling dysfunction. You're perpetuating the very patterns that keep everyone stuck. Your kids don't need a martyr for a parent. They need an example of someone who values themselves. Your partner doesn't need a servant. They need an equal who chooses to be there. Your friends don't need a dumping ground. They need someone who shows them what healthy boundaries look like. But you can't give any of that while you're bleeding out. You can't teach self-respect while you're disrespecting yourself. You can't model healthy relationships while you're accepting crumbs. Here's what Epictetus knew that changes everything. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Embody it. Stop talking about what you believe and start living it. Stop preaching about self-care and start practicing self-choice. Stop telling others to value themselves while you're giving yourself away for free. The moment you truly choose yourself, you become dangerous. Dangerous to every system that depends on your compliance. Dangerous to every relationship built on your diminishment. Dangerous to every lie you've been told about what makes a good person. Good people don't destroy themselves for others. Good people don't enable dysfunction. Good people don't teach through martyrdom. Good people choose themselves so completely that they have something real to give, not guilt-driven obligation, but genuine care from a place of fullness. But the transition, it's hell. Everything in you will scream that you're doing it wrong. Every program will run its guilt sequence. Every voice from your past will echo disapproval. This is the fire you have to walk through. Most turn back. The heat gets too intense. The guilt feels unbearable. The fear of being alone seems worse than the familiar misery, so they retreat to the comfortable prison of everyone else's needs. But if you can stay the course, if you can withstand the withdrawal symptoms of approval addiction, if you can weather the storm of other people's reactions, something incredible happens. You start to discover who you actually are beneath all the roles you've been playing. And that person, they're not who you expected. They're not the sum of their usefulness to others. They're not defined by their service or sacrifice. They're not measured by how much they give up or give away. They have preferences you've been suppressing, dreams you've been denying, desires you've been calling selfish, boundaries you've been too scared to enforce, power you've been giving away, love you've been misdirecting. This is what happens when you choose yourself. You finally meet yourself, the real you. Not the performance, not the role, not the function, the actual human being who's been suffocating under everyone else's needs. And that meeting, it changes everything. You realize you've been negotiating from a position of emptiness, begging for love while refusing to love yourself, demanding respect while accepting disrespect, seeking validation while invalidating your own needs. No wonder nothing worked. No wonder you felt crazy. You were trying to build a life on a foundation of self-abandonment. Of course it kept collapsing, but when you choose yourself as the foundation, when your own well-being becomes non-negotiable, when your peace matters more than their comfort, everything shifts. Relationships become chosen, not obligatory. Help becomes genuine, not guilt-driven. Love becomes real, not performed. Life becomes yours, not theirs. People will call this selfish. Let them. They're usually the ones benefiting from your self-abandonment. They're the ones who've been dining on your destruction. Of course they want you back on the menu. But you're done being consumed, done being drained, done being less so others can feel like more. Epictetus cut through all the bull. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Guess what choosing yourself makes you in the eyes of those who profit from your sacrifice? Foolish, stupid, selfish, mean, changed, wrong, perfect. Their opinion of your transformation tells you everything about their investment in your former prison. Their discomfort with your growth reveals their attachment to your limitation. Their anger at your boundaries shows their entitlement to your energy. Use their reactions as confirmation you're on the right path. The louder they protest, the more necessary your choice. The more they guilt you, the more overdue your boundaries. The angrier they get, the more you needed to choose yourself. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Choosing yourself isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Every morning, you wake up and the old programs boot up. The guilt whispers. The fear suggests. The patterns pull. And every morning, you have to choose again. Will you answer that manipulative text? Will you accept that backhanded comment? Will you sacrifice your plans for their emergency? Will you dim your light for their comfort? Will you abandon yourself for their approval? The choice never ends. But it does get easier, like a muscle you build, like a skill you develop, like a language you learn. Eventually, choosing yourself becomes as natural as breathing. The guilt fades, the fear quiets, the old patterns lose their power. And then something beautiful happens. You start attracting people who also choose themselves. People who don't need you to be less for them to be more. People who celebrate your boundaries instead of challenging them. People who love you for who you are, not what you provide. These relationships, they're unlike anything you've experienced. No manipulation, no guilt, no scorekeeping, no emotional vampirism. Just two whole people choosing to share their lives, not complete each other. Support without sacrifice. Love without loss of self. Connection without codependence. This is what's waiting on the other side of choosing yourself. But you can't get there by tiptoeing. You can't ease into self-choice. You can't gradually become yourself. It requires a leap, a decision, a line in the sand. Today, I choose me. Today, my well-being matters most. Today, I stop betraying myself for others' comfort. Today, I begin the radical act of self-loyalty. Will you lose people? Yes. Will you face criticism? Absolutely. Will you doubt yourself? Constantly at first. Will it be worth it? Beyond your wildest imagination? Because here's what Epictetus understood that most never learn. No man is free who is not master of himself. Every time you choose others over yourself, you forge another link in your chains. Every time you abandon your needs for theirs, you deepen your prison. Every time you betray yourself for approval, you strengthen your bondage. But every time you choose yourself, you strike a blow for freedom. Your freedom, the only freedom that actually exists. The freedom to live according to your own values, needs, and desires, regardless of others' opinions. This freedom terrifies most people. It's too much responsibility, too much power, too much accountability. Easier to stay enslaved to others' expectations. Easier to blame them for your misery. Easier to play victim than own your life. But you're still reading, aren't you? Which means some part of you is ready. Some part knows the price of self-abandonment has become too high. Some part recognizes that choosing everyone else has led nowhere worth going. That part is right. It's time. Time to stop the madness of self-sacrifice. Time to end the addiction to approval. Time to cease the betrayal of your own soul. Time to choose yourself so completely that nothing and no one can shake that choice. What happens when you make that choice? When you finally, fully, unapologetically choose yourself above all else, you become unfuckwithable. Not because you're hard or cold or distant, but because you're so rooted in your own worth that others' opinions become irrelevant whether they can rain their disappointment, storm their anger, thunder their guilt. You remain unmoved, anchored in the unshakable knowledge that your first responsibility is to your own well-being. From this place, everything changes. Your yes means yes because it's chosen, not coerced. Your no means no because it honors your truth, not fears their reaction. Your love flows freely because it springs from fullness, not emptiness. Your life becomes yours because you've stopped giving it away. This is what Epictetus meant when he said, "Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself." Your circumstances right now, the demanding people, the guilt-inducing situations, the energy vampires, they're revealing something crucial. They're showing you exactly where you've been abandoning yourself. Each resentment points to a boundary you haven't set. Each exhaustion reveals energy you've misallocated. Each bitterness shows where you've chosen their comfort over your truth. Your misery is a map, and it's leading you home to yourself. But you have to be willing to follow it, willing to disappoint, willing to be misunderstood, willing to let them think whatever they're going to think while you do what you need to do. The irony, the people who truly matter will respect you more. Your authentic no creates space for an authentic yes. Your honest boundaries invite honest connection. Your self-choice inspires others' self-choice. You become a lighthouse, not by trying to save every ship, but by tending your own flame so bright that it naturally guides those ready to see. This is service from wholeness, not depletion. This is love from abundance, not lack. This is the gift of modeling what's possible when someone finally chooses themselves. But none of this matters if you don't start. Today, now, with the next choice in front of you, will you honor yourself or abandon yourself? Will you speak your truth or swallow it? Will you choose your peace or their comfort? The answer you give determines everything that follows, not just for today, but for the rest of your life. Because life is nothing but a series of these choices, and they all add up to either a life fully lived or a life given away. Epictetus left us with this: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. How will you react to the demands on your time? The guilt trips, the manipulation, the expectations, the criticism for changing? Will you react from fear, falling back into old patterns of self-abandonment? Or will you respond from power, holding firm in your choice to prioritize yourself? The choice is yours. It's always been yours. You've just been pretending otherwise because the responsibility felt too heavy. But carrying everyone else hasn't made you lighter. It's made you disappear. Time to reappear. Time to resurrect. Time to choose yourself so fiercely that the world has no choice but to deal with the real you. Not the servant, not the sacrifice, not the shell, the actual person who's been waiting beneath all that self-abandonment. They're ready to live. The question is, are you ready to let them? The moment you say yes to that question, everything changes. Not because the world transforms, but because you stop waiting for it to. You stop needing permission. You stop seeking approval. You stop sacrificing yourself on the altar of others' comfort. You simply, powerfully, irrevocably choose yourself. And in that choosing, you finally discover what Epictetus knew all along. The only person you're truly responsible for is you. The only life you can actually save is your own. The only happiness you can genuinely create is yours. Everything else? It's just noise trying to distract you from the only choice that matters. Will you finally, fully, completely choose yourself above all else? The answer changes everything. Choose wisely. Choose yourself. Choose now.